Breaking news is the Manhattan mass shooter has been identified. 27-year-old Shane Tamura from Las Vegas is indeed not white, despite what CNN says. We're talking about this story and so much more here on the Gateway Pundits Week in Review. What an insane week it's been. My name is Elijah Schaffer, and this is the Gateway Pundits Week in Review, where we cover the top 5 stories of the last 24 hours. Our top story today, the mass shooter that CNN said was possibly white was actually 27-year-old Shane Tamura from Las Vegas. Check this out. The Manhattan mass shooter has been identified as 27-year-old Shane Tamura from Las Vegas, and at least 5 people, unfortunately, are dead, including a police officer, after Shane Tamura opened fire in a building in Midtown. It's unfortunate, of course, when anyone loses their life, but we also respect those, and we do mourn their loss, especially a police officer who I believe had several children with one on the way. I can only imagine what a wife would feel knowing that the father of her children and the love of her life was killed by a coward. Well, Tamura reportedly wore a bulletproof vest as he walked in the 44-story building in Manhattan at 51st and Park Avenue and opened fire on multiple people before turning the gun on himself. The New York Post report that a crazed gunman wearing a bulletproof vest opened fire inside a swanky Midtown skyscraper that houses Blackstone and NFL headquarters on Monday, injuring these people, including a cop, before turning the gun on himself. The Post reported that the suspect barricaded himself inside and was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. A police officer and at least 4 other people were shot and killed. Now, that being said, this story is actually quite interesting because, number one, the mainstream media heard mass shooter, AR-15, and thought, how can we blame white people? How can we do that? You know, there's a settlement that's for white people only that's going on in Arkansas. It's a very interesting story, and people are mad at them too. And I saw a bunch of comments of people who hate white people, mad that white people don't want to live around them. And one of the contributors on rifftv.com said, Sarah Stock, she said, if you don't like white people, why are you mad they don't want to live around you? And I feel like there's a genuine, anti-white agenda that's gone on in our country for far too long. And the fact that people, immediately try to paint a story to be against white people before any details have come out, which is not a lie, by the way. There's no lawsuit there. Allegedly white or possibly white. Those are all like perfectly legal frameworks. But is it really that important to do that? I mean, to say those kind of things? Of course not. It's absolutely ridiculous. Here he is pictured. I'm going to let you answer for yourself. Do you think that that looks like a white guy? If you were on my other show, rifftv.com, people would say that is a white guy from Southern Europe. But no, that is definitely not a white guy. And I don't want to like to bring up color when I don't have to, but, CNN did it. Speaking of the devil, Colorado Democrat says that it's dangerous for Tulsi Gabbard to make accusations against Obama. Mike LaChance reports, we have the video for you. It's kind of odd, so somewhat disingenuous. Fox News had this report on Shannon Bream. Watch.
Okay, keeping in mind what the DNI said there, and I've poured through these documents. I hope you've had a chance to go through them too. Do you think a special counsel is warranted at this point, or some type of investigation to reassure people, regardless of party, that they can be assured that top officials are not going to be up to no good?
Well, the allegations and the conspiracy theories by Tulsi Gabbard would be sad if they weren't so dangerous. She has turned herself into basically a weapon of mass distraction, is what I've been calling it, because it's very clear what's happening here. She's trying to curry favor and get back into favor with Donald Trump and has concocted these theories to do so. But let's be really clear here that the Russian investigation and allegations of Russian interference into the election have been the most examined and re-examined finding in the intelligence community history. There have been four investigations, including a bipartisan Senate investigation led under the first Trump administration and led in part by Marco Rubio, that was very, very clear on these findings. These have been investigated and reinvestigated and reinvestigated, and nothing has changed up until this past month.
Well, it sounds like a bit of a threat, right? She has to be careful, but it's true. I mean, Trump's so terrified of the Epstein files being released. People say it's strategic. I don't agree with that. And it's kind of crazy. I mean, like that, and who's really controls these things? Well, I know that Times of Israel article was quite weird. It seemed to be also a threat against Trump. I remember I read that article like just this last week where they go, oh, well, Trump didn't give Netanyahu what he wanted, and now the Epstein files are floating around again. Trump, maybe you should be careful. And it seemed like a threat, you know? And then there was also people do threaten people. Does that mean that we know who's behind the Epstein files? I mean, the experts say it's China or Russia. Yeah. Not buying that one. But I do think that Obama has a reason to people do die. Remember the paddleboarder, his chef? Like, I know people die by accidents, but why is it always the famous people have a lot of young people that are healthy that die in freak accidents around them? I do think she should be careful. And I also think the Obama situation is a distraction from the Epstein situation, which is exactly what's going on. Now, that being said, MyPillow is having 2 sales in one. Now, the first is a closeout sale on Percale bed sheets, any size and any color, just $25. That's right. You can even get queens, kings, split kings, and California kings, any size, any color, just $25. 11 colors to choose from, and when they're gone, they're gone. The second sale is a new energy drink called Rev 7. It's a premium energy drink that is actually good for you. It tastes great, and it gives you energy all day. Plus, it has no sugar, no caffeine, so you don't experience those jitters and crashes that we've all been through with the other energy drinks. What makes Rev 7 so special is that it's powered by Cognizant, a premium nootropic that helps fuel your mind and go BHB, which is a primary ketone in your body that provides the most efficient and cleanest fuel ever. Now, MyPillow is so confident that you're going to love the Rev 7 that for a limited time, you can try their introductory 3-pack absolutely free. These amazing offers won't last long. Order now. Just go to MyPillow.com, use promo code Elijah, or call 1-800-210-8491 today. Links on the screen and the description. Check it out. Additionally, Trump's former impeachment lawyer, David Schoen, flips the script and uses Democrats' own argument to prove Obama can still be impeached, stripped of his immunity, and even indicted for his crimes. Listen to this. President Trump, former impeachment attorney David Schoen, dropped a legal nuke on the legacy of Barack Obama, declaring that the 44th president of the United States can still be impeached, and if so, could lose his post-president immunity and face indictment for criminal conduct tied to the Russia collusion hoax. Now, this explosive revelation came just days after President Trump remarked that Obama owed him big for the recent Supreme Court decision, affirming presidential immunity for official acts committed while in office. But Schoen isn't letting Obama off the hook. Let's not forget that during their second failed impeachment attempt against Trump, Democrats moved the goalposts, claiming impeachment could apply even after a president leaves office. Now, they did this in a desperate bid to disqualify Trump from running again, a tactic that could now come back to haunt their golden boy, Barack Obama. President Trump is right when he said that the immunity decision would help President Obama. Schoen said on Newsmax, but you know what it doesn't help him with? Impeachment. Schoen pointed directly to Article 1, Section 3, Clause 7 of the Constitution, the very clause the Democrats used during their second sham impeachment of President Trump to argue that the former president could still be tried and barred from holding office again. In doing so, they opened the door for the same standard to apply to Obama. I mean, this is radical. They always say, I'm looking at my producer, we know the radical left are always at it. Endless wars. We're getting sick and tired of them, are we not? But when the demon rats aren't around doing their, spiel, hanging out and telling us what we can and can't do with our kids' wieners, I know it's weird, but they're really into our kids' wieners and all that other weird gender ideology crap. When they're not doing that, they actually are pulling really good power moves. They actually consolidate power really well. And, Republicans really do nothing to consolidate power, but we are gaining the will of the people. More people are turning Republican than ever. But it makes me wonder, is Republicanism really about appealing to the right wing anymore, or is it about appealing to the center? And so we don't really have any right-wing party. So I don't even know if we're going to ever really push back on the left, because we're always just trying to appease everyone. It's quite odd. A couple of honorable mentions here. Kramer drops the F-bomb on live TV over Trump's latest Blockbuster trade deal. Watch this. The full video for you. It's quite interesting, as I don't think he was supposed to say this, but viewer discretion is advised.
Our biggest problem is we have so much growth that the Fed won't cut.
What the fuck? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I take it right back.
Everybody,
I take it right
okay.
back.
It's
That was
okay.
bad.
It's okay. We're in the moment.
I take it right back.
It's just the way
I take
we
it right back.
talk.
That was bad.
It's cable with a ticker, as Joe Kernan would say.
I take that back.
That's right.
Real people doing live TV.
No.
Jim, though, to your point,
take it back.
Goldman today, the most notable change.
I think I'm out of here.
No, you're fine. You're absolutely
Goldman
fine.
today, the most notable.
You want me to say one?
No, I just feel like enough with the rate cut and the economy's booming.
Let Carl talk now.
Goldman today, most notable change since the June Fed meeting.
Our biggest problem is we have so much growth that the Fed won't cut.
Yeah, well, look. I don't care if people drop F-bombs. I was with my dad in Texas, And I was with my grandma. What a sweet lady she is. 82 years old. And I said SHIT, and they both weren't very happy about that. I mean, a lot of older generations, people, maybe you are one of them, don't really like cursing. They find it to be a bit off-putting. But I don't know why we really care about that. I care more about the Epstein files than Kramer dropping an F-bomb. And I think it's important that, young people typically, I find cursing to be part of authenticity. People who are authentic and are really thinking their own thoughts tend to curse a lot. That's actually a truthful statement. But also people who are uneducated can curse instead of using real words. So it's kind of which one are you? I don't know. Also, WNBA, days after demanding pay us what you owe us, games halted and fan ejected because of a player lost her wig on the court. You can find that video there at thegatewaypundit.com. Don't forget, you can join our mug club. Get one of these fancy mugs. They're absolutely wonderful. It has an embossed graphic here on the front and in the back. When you join the mug club at thegatewaypundit.com/join, you support independent media and journalism, and then you allow yourself the ability to join in with us in this fight against tyranny. Please partner with us. Consider doing so. For the rest of you guys watching, you can find me and follow me directly on social media. I'm Elijah Schaffer. What is it? At .locals.com, I think it is. ElijahSchaffer.locals.com. ElijahSchaffer.locals.com. That's my social media page. That's where I connect with everyone, put all my other videos up, and do all my stuff. So you can find me there. To the rest of you guys watching, have a great rest of the week, and may God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.